Next news is out of the United Kingdom. Atheist parents take a primary school to court as they say assembly prayers breach children's human rights. These atheist parents are taking their children's primary school to high court, claiming that biblical reenactments and praying in assembly are a breach of their human rights. This organization is Oxford Diocesan Schools Trust, and they're the ones that are arguing for the Burford Primary School, saying that they're acting unlawfully. So the parents are saying that any of the prayer and teaching of the Bible is actually prohibiting children from learning actual science and education and things like that. It's taking time away from what their children should be learning. And they were actually recently awarded the right to continue with this trial.
Good job. I think these parents are heroes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good. You're making it clear. Wait, I can't believe in the UK they actually allow. Is this a public school? Is this a public?
They allow what?
They allow. Okay, and do they allow what is this Christian rituals to be for kids? What is it? What are they doing exactly?
Actually, I don't think that they do allow it. Humanists UK is supporting Mr. and Mrs. Harris, who are bringing up this suit, and they're saying that they need to be providing if it is a Christian primary school, which I don't know if that's public. Someone please let us know if that's a public or private.
The article says I think it's a non-religious community school.
So that makes it a public school?
I guess it says non-religious community school here, like Burford Primary non-religious community school. Okay.
I mean, if it gives, I can't believe in a non-religious school in the United Kingdom, which is now one of a very not very Christian country, they actually have biblical reenactments and praying assembly. That's what the hell, UK? Christianity needs to already die. We need to focus on Islam in the UK now because that's growing. We don't want to keep focusing on Christianity. UK Christianity needs to die already. Get over that and focus on now attacking Islam. And I'm glad that these parents are making setting a precedent for this, right? Because these things matter. You can't let religious influence creep into your children's lives, and you need to also make it, if people are not following the law, and also a very good law, you need to make it clear, set the signal to anybody else trying to attempt this, that no, we draw the line, and if they win, it makes it much more difficult for other schools to have stuff like this, to influence, to brainwash children if they win. Right. So remember, when people do something like this, activists, people decide to become activists. It might be just for their own kids, but when they do, is helping all other kids. There's so many. If they win, the result of what they do is going to be that many other kids are going to be protected from religious indoctrination. So, good. These people are heroes, and they should be thanked, right? Good job, guys. They took the time, they took the energy. They could have just made a complaint, or they could have just decided that they wouldn't take their kids to another school. But no, they decided to make a difference. And people in the UK need to be grateful for having somebody like this. Alex is saying, I agree with them, to be honest. We had to sing hymns and do prayers at primary school. I had no idea why we were doing it. Just continued to believe we had to. Religion is silly, and I genuinely can't believe adults invest their time and effort into such nonsense. Anyways, I lived in London from age 4 to 6, and I remember that we had somebody come into our school, and they did the water, and they just did the magic trick when they turned into wine, and we were like, oh, but basically that was the Jesus miracle thing that they were showing to us. And this was not a religious school, and they still did that for us. But this was a long time ago. I can't believe they still do that. And the thing is, a lot of people might think well, this is not. If your kid is not going to get religious, then what's the problem? The problem is that even a lot of atheists today make excuses for religious authority. or religious legitimacy, or the importance of religion. So even if you can't brainwash somebody to the point that they become Christian, and you could still brainwash people to a point where they think that society needs religion, because they grew up with it and they saw it, so it was so common and it was so everywhere that they think like, oh, this is within the fabric of our society, and our society cannot survive without this. Or like they say, oh, Christianity is part of United Kingdom identity, we can't get rid of our identity, right? And that's why, and if they grew up feeling like that, even if you're an atheist, then you might be reluctant to get rid of Christianity in the United Kingdom. So when you grew up with these things, you might have those feelings more about Christianity, even if you don't believe in it. So it's important to understand that the brainwashing might go in different ways. It's not necessarily about making kids Christians. It might be making kids grow up to value Christianity, even if they're not Christian. And that's a dangerous thing to believe in.
Atheists are under attack in many places. If they were Christians, their voices would be heard. If they were Jews, their voices would be heard. If they were Muslims, their voices would be heard. But they are atheists, and not many seem to be listening. Let's make it difficult for them to ignore us. We have built a global community, and now we are tearing down geographic, cultural, and language barriers so we can find each other and support each other. In the last decade, we have built the largest atheist community in the world. Now we're doing the same in other languages. With your help, we have started Atheist Republic in Persian and Arabic.
انضميت مؤخرا لأسرة Atheist Republic وحيصير عندي بودكاست باللغة العربية.
As we grow, we can dedicate more time, staff, and resources to start doing the same in Spanish, Portuguese, Malay, Bengali, Urdu, Hindi, and other languages. We are providing community, support, informative content, and amplifying the voices of those who need protection, especially in countries where people feel isolated simply for their lack of belief. We want to be there for them, and we are only getting started. Help us get there. Check in the description for ways you can support our projects.